Great, thank you. Hi everyone. So my name is Osvaldo Spadano, but yes, don't panic. You can call me Ozzy, right? So what is Elastera? Elastera provides managed cloud environments for Magento sites. We build a platform on top of Amazon Web Services. I was CTO of online retailers like you. I work with people like Hughes, Alex and Alexa, my own startup, and so on. I was looking for a solution like Elastera, and I was frustrated, I couldn't find it. So frustrated that I decided to build it myself. Elastera is my fourth startup. Previously, I was also CTO and co-founder of a vendor in 2001, pioneer of SaaS e-commerce, which was mentioned in the previous talks as well about SaaS, and we're gonna dive into it a little bit more. And vendor was acquired by NetSuite last year, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Elastera. My co-founder, Zach Stevens, was a key architect at Vendor, so he's been working with cloud and e-commerce and platforms for many, many years with me. It's also interesting, especially connecting to what Ed Reed was talking about before, the build, measure, learn, the lean startup, and we are also a very focused lean company. So much so that among investors and advisors of our company, we have Daniel Jones, who is the father of Lean, Eric Ries, the father of Lean Startup, and also Peter Gogenti, former vice president at Acquia. They do for Drupal something very similar to what we do for Magento. And Chris Meggs, chief scientist at Metaswitch Networks. So this is a typical case of a well-known brand being laid down by their site when it matters the most. They send a newsletter out, the sale is on, and the sale is down. It's quite typical. I don't want to bore you with stats and numbers, you all know these kind of things, how important it is to the uptime and the performance, but I think it's worth reiterating that uptime and performance are directly tied to the perception of your brand and the success or failure of your business. Is that important? Our purpose as a company was created from frustration, and it is for every site that we touch to be as effective as it can be. Now, until recently, online retailers had to choose between, as we said before, Ed was saying that, between a SaaS solution or go down the do-it-yourself path. And whatever choice they make, typically merchants, they're never totally, completely happy. The reason is that each choice will be a compromise. Each choice will have some negatives and some positives. So let's quickly go through that. The negatives of a SaaS platform is that merchants ends up renting a platform, and inevitably they will be facing constraints. Not everything is possible, okay? If you go down the path, the DIY, do-it-yourself path, you will face hefty taxes because of the complexity that you will be facing. On the positive, SaaS is very easy. They take care of all the complexity. And they also provide a compelling, low, and predictable total cost of ownership, which is great. However, if you go down to DIY, you will have the ownership of the platform, that's your platform, and you will have the total freedom of doing whatever you want and create a custom experience for your users. So the solution is the best of both, right? Now, when using a DIY approach, okay, the whole process can become quite overwhelming. It becomes very complex and, as a result, broken. So building a site is half of the battle. Making sure that the site is up, secure, and running fast is the other half. So Elastera is, in a way, technical operations solved. Okay? We created an infrastructure as a code-first solution. What it means is an infrastructure and a platform which is totally, completely automated from the outset. That allows us to rebuild any client's infrastructure and site from scratch in a very little time. Also, so it's a quick setup. It also allows us to move the infrastructure and the platform continuously. In the same way SaaS does with software, we do that with infrastructure. Even better would be to have a great agency combined with great operations, and now, yes, you can get the best of both in that way. So how are we different from the sea of hosting providers out there? There are many aspects, but I'll try to pinpoint the three key areas. One, we are specialists. Cloud, AWS in this case, and Magento, it's what we do. It's all we do, nothing else. We're super specialists. We don't do anything else. If you ask us to build a site, we don't do it. We ask you to talk to Session Digital. If you ask us to do custom development, we can do it, but we don't do it. We ask Session to do it because we focus on our mission. And automation, also known in the community as infrastructure as a code. What it means is managing infrastructure totally, completely through code. We do for infrastructure what engineers, software developers do for their code, right? With their code. So we write code, unit tested, going through continuous integrations, regression testing, all automated, and with that code we drive the management and evolution of the platform. So infrastructure is not something static anymore, but something that evolves with time, which is really key. And the business model, which is also important. We have a business model and the contract which is totally aligned with our customer success. So if there is a problem with your site and performance, we don't try to sell you more hosting. Okay? That's not how we resolve the problems. So you might have guessed by now that we are a little bit different. We are a little bit obsessed, and we don't really rest until we get it right for you. Now, when we talk about technical operations, I just want to give you an idea of what it is, because very often it's not seen. People are not even aware of how many parts there are when we talk about technical operations. You can see there is the cloud and all the components of the cloud, and you have to put them together, right? But then there is everything else around it. The security, monitoring, alerting, performance, CTN, high availability, scalability, having staging pre-production environments like staging, testing, UAT, code deployment, problem solving, obviously, 24/7 support, escalation, backups, logs, and it goes on and on. In cloud, it's even much more than that. You need lots of toolings. Cloud is not just having a bunch of servers. You manage them differently. You need to have the toolings. You need to be to have an infrastructure which is intelligent, which is able to. It needs to be orchestrated. The platform there needs to be able to auto-discover the different components and talk to the application, let the application to talk to the infrastructure as well. And automation is a big part of it, and obviously monitoring and everything else. And the key things for us is, when we talk about SLA and uptime, we mean the uptime of the site. not of the infrastructure. So that's what we have in the contract. So the opportunity for you is that you can really maximize the performance. And when I mean performance of the site as well as of your business. And focus on what is important. There is no point to firefight and just spend your time in, with system be slow and so on. And get ahead quickly. How? Get ahead quickly so that you're right up there and using the infrastructure and the solutions that until recently only the big boys could have and took them ages to achieve. So if you thought that adopting mobile was difficult, think again. Because today we have 5 billion devices worldwide, estimated to increase to 50 billion by 2020. That will demand a huge disruption for platform and infrastructure. This is why Magento 2 is very important, in my opinion. Magento 2 is important. Alistair was touching about that, and he said how it's a more scalable system. You can have subsystems and components split, which also means you can have a separate infrastructure managing those different components, right? And that offers an opportunity, but also means that the infrastructure with more components will be more complex to manage, right? This is why having the tooling is extremely important. There is also the opportunity, for example, of having those components running on their own infrastructure and leveraging things like, for example, Amazon Aurora, which is an enterprise-grade MySQL compatible database. It's extremely fast, it's extremely reliable, high availability. It's basically, think of Oracle at a tenth of the price. So we are highly in tune with online retailers. We've been there, we've been in your shoes. Our highly tuned machine is what makes your business resilient today, but most importantly, ready for the future, whatever it might bring. Thank you.